Morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, or good grief. Well, this is an interesting day in the sense that the channel is approaching 1,000 likes or 1,000 subs, and we're at 950, and we appreciate that. And it's interesting, I think, what sparked it too, which is um, redistricting. Kind of hard word for me to say. That's a district or a state that decides to, whether because, like normal, or what's normal is that the census comes out every 10 years, and the census comes out in the odd year, like in 2000 or 2010, 2020, and then before the midterm elections, a state, and when the state does it, normally the districts, like the county commissioner district or the city council districts or whatever, alderman districts or whatever, those lines may get redrawn as well. But keeping the conversation to U.S. congressional districts, the average size of a U.S. congressional district is about 600,000 people. And as population shifts happen, people move from one part of the country to another, or even just one part of the state to another. Like in Michigan, a lot of people who were in Detroit might have left Detroit and moved outside of the suburbs or whatever. And so there's been, a population shift here where I live in Tampa. There was a population shift as families were moved out of some housing developments in the downtown area, and now those folks have been displaced, I guess, which is the best word I can use for it, displaced to other places around the county. So when that happened, in order for these other places to get, sort of representation that seemed to be equal or seemed to be appropriate, the lines had to be redrawn. Oops, this always happens with this thing. It's time to get a new one. And that's what's happened. What's happened is that the lines are being redrawn. Now, what normally happens is, like I said, every 10 years or so. But the Texas legislature has pulled a fast one. Thanks. They pulled a fast one. What they've said is, we're going to redraw the lines now while we have the authority to do so. And the Democrats are going, but wait, the census isn't until 2030. You can't. Well, and it turns out you can. And I don't know if these maps are going to end up in the courts. My guess is they probably will. But it'll probably be too late. And if these maps make it, then this is one of the first times that I can remember that Republicans anywhere, Texas, Florida, anywhere, Alaska, have been proactive in anything. One of the biggest complaints we've had with the Republican Party, and I was like, that's not 40. Anyway, with the Republican Party is that have been really reactive and not proactive. They don't get in front of stuff. They play patty cake. They play, get along to get along, hold the line, that kind of stuff, as opposed to, what the left has done, I think, probably better than anybody, is when they get in power, they act like it. That is the truth. When Democrats are in power, they act like it. When Barack Obama took over the White House and had the legislature, the House and the Senate, they acted like it. They were saying, hey, listen, we're going to go full tilt boogie, balls to the wall, all gas, no brakes, and get this affordable health care thing done. And I'll be dang on if they didn't do it. They knew at that point there was nothing Republicans could do to stop them. Zero. Republicans didn't have the numbers. Not at all. Not even close. Republicans could hop up and down. They could sign loyalty pledges. They could have rallies. They could have speeches. They could have Tea Party rallies, and they did. And they knew it wasn't going to make one tinker's damn worth of difference. It was just balls to the walls. It was all gas, no brakes, Affordable Care Act, and it happened. And Barack Obama signed that act in 2010 in March. I think I got the date right? Yeah, I think I got the date right. So it's like I said. I think Democrats do that have done that historically way better than Republicans. Way better. Just taking advantage of the times where they have the authority to do stuff. Republicans, I don't know. I think it's fear mostly. I also think that it's fear because the Republican base is so diverse, and what they're terrified of, absolutely mortified of, is alienating one. Oops, God, we gotta do something about this. Alienating one side or the other of the base. Especially now, you think about there's that Bush part of the party. There's that Reagan part of the party, which is extremely small. There are the conservatives that are like the libertarian part of the party. That kind of thing. So I think they're really afraid of alienating some part of the Republican Party, and they're just terrified. So when they have the chance to act, they normally don't. They just don't. So this is an interesting thing coming from the Texas Republicans. They are going to act right now while they have the authority to do so, while they have the power to do so. When frankly, the Democrats in Texas can't stop them. This is going to be very, very, very interesting. If these maps hold up in court, because there are going to be lawsuits. The lawsuits, I'm sure, are flying fast and furiously. But for somebody who's been watching the Republican Party for years and years and years, I'm sort of excited by their boldness, and it has shocked the world. I think, and it sort of shocked the entire world, because this is not something that people are used to seeing. They're what? Now the play that the Texas Democrats did by leaving the state so they wouldn't have to vote on them, frankly, that's kind of Bush League, and because that delay tactic, frankly, can't last forever. You can't just refuse to go back forever. At some point, they're going to have to go back. There's going to be a quorum. Now, you can decide to not vote. You can decide to vote no, do whatever procedurally there is to do in Texas. I don't know. I guess that there isn't like a filibuster sort of situation. Or you can go back and negotiate. I guess you could do that because that's what you've been elected to do. You could go back and negotiate. I don't know. You could. But they're going to have to go back. Hey, Mike. They are going to go back. They're going to have to go back and negotiate. Or eventually. Now, again, how long they hold out? Greg Abbott's already, put the warrants out on them, so to speak, I guess. And they're getting fined like $500 a day. I don't know if those fines will ever be done, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see, won't we? But I think it's fun. Is decided to, and actually there is a law in Florida that prohibits this, and I think that that's probably maybe a good idea. I don't know if it's a good idea or not, frankly. But there is a group of Republicans that are putting together a committee to explore some mid-decade rewriting of U.S. congressional lines, and we're going to see how that works out. And what's really funny? I'm sorry. I think what's really funny is this. I think that the Democrat reaction is that they're going to do it too. Well, I mean, and that's coming from governors from states that don't have any Republican representatives. You're gonna do what to? You're gonna do what? Seriously? You're not gonna do anything. You've already gerrymandered your state into oblivion, where the number of Republican seats that are available are 0 to none, or few to none. It's going to be good times. Hey, listen, thank you ever so much for those of you who have watched the videos, and thank you for those who have subscribed to the channel. I appreciate that greatly. Got to get out of here and get these groceries in the house. So until I see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We will see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.